Blaze Katina, Matthew Horner, Tyler Grimm, Hendricks Harvey, number 5. Number 0, Jay Cowan, number 1, Jordan Gray. 6, Wyatt Young, 9 Braxton, 11 Matthew, 12 Henry, 13 Landon. Independence Eagles!
What is...
We have fog machines.
Oh! Let's not sign any up.
All right, when clock says 0, we're going live.
Let's not sign anything. Yeah, any confetti cannons.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome back, Indy Nation. I am Jacob Hammers.
I'm Jackson Finkel.
And this is your Independence football broadcast. And we are so excited to see your Eagles match up against the Coffee County Red Raiders tonight. I mean, the season has been disappointing so far for the Eagles. They are currently 1-2 with a win against Rockville and a loss to Shelbyville and Lincoln County. But however, Coffee County comes into this 2-1 with a win against Franklin, or 3-1 with a win against Franklin County, Wilson County, and Franklin. Now, it's interesting what we've seen. Coffee County comes into this game with a 15-14 win against Shelbyville, the team that Independence lost by 3 to last week. And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. One of the bigger rivalries we anticipate to see later in the season is Independence versus Franklin. And Franklin fell short to Coffee County by 1 point.
So that really shows that we can't really close out those close games, but hopefully we can turn around today. We're really excited to see what Matthew Horner can do with the offense, what Eli Garlington produced now that we're down 2 running backs. Of course, Torrey King out with a knee injury, and I believe Josh Neves as well.
Yeah, Josh Neves is out for the season right now, along with Torrey King. Torrey King dislocated his ankle and broke his tibia last week against Shelbyville, and Josh Neves tore his ACL against Lincoln County earlier this year. And it's just terrible to see these injuries, and that's going to be a kickoff for Trey Karen.
It's a short kickoff. It's going to be returned by the Eagles. He's going to be just planted his foot, called for a fair call here. And the Independence Eagles are going to come out on the field, led by Matthew Horner and Hendrick Harvey.
Yeah, one thing I'm really excited to look at this game is how the fatigue plays in for these teams. I mean, we see on Coffee County, they have a lot of players playing offense and defense. To go with this is number 4, Kane Dixon. Number 5, Tegan Stem. We see a lot of offense and defense from these players.
Of course, as you just mentioned, of course, the running backs are out, so we have Eli Garland in the backfield here. A little halt plum play here.
Yeah, and seeing how Matthew Horner throws this rock tonight is going to be interesting with the overthrows he had last game, kind of costing them that last drive.
Horner's going to call for the ball here. He's going to throw it to his left side. It's going to be caught, but he's going to be brought down right away. The ball is going to be out. I believe it's going to be Hendricks Harvey, I believe.
And that's going to be something we see a lot today from your Eagles. I mean, so far this year, we see those quick slants all the time. And one thing I've noticed is Matthew Horner is getting that ball in late. He's not getting that ball out when the route breaks. And that's leading to a hospital ball for a lot of these receivers, especially Hendricks Harvey.
He's coming off the field right after that play. Maybe some discomfort there, or he's just being taken off. But Horner back to pass. He's going to hand it off back to Eli Garland. He's going to break free for about 7 yards. He's going to be down around the 44-yard line.
On the carry for the
yeah,
Eagles,
and it's really interesting to see how this running offense is going to work, because we see 2 injuries for the season on this offense with Josh Neves and Torrey King, and one of the most anticipated pieces of this offense was that 3 running back set. And it's going to be interesting to see how they use not just number 20 Eli Garlington, but also number 17 Max Bauman.
A little close-up formation here. He's going to be back to the run game here. He's going to be brought down right away by, I believe, number 17. Max Bauman was back there.
Yeah, that's Max Bauman. They're using him so far this game. That's 2 snaps already. And we see Eli Garlington not in yet. And that's an interesting piece, because Eli Garlington has been the main rusher of this offense. I mean, through 2 games, he had 17 carries for 73 yards.
Wonder back to pass. It's going to be another run play by Bauman. Bauman's going to get around down by the 47-yard. That's been a gain of 8 or 9 on the play.
Yeah, and these are the first snaps we've actually seen the Max Ballman this year. We haven't seen him use in the run game or the pass game at all. So it's going to be interesting to see how Coach Scott Blade kind of uses this run game more with the time management that kind of led us to a loss last week.
Darlington back in the game here. It's going to be a sneak play by Horner. Horner's going to get it across for the first down here. It's going to be down on the 44-yard line here.
And on the close side of your screen, you see number 4 for Coffee County, Kane Dixon. He is one of their better players. I mean, on the season, as a defensive player, he has almost 30 tackles. And you see him on the offensive side with 23 catches. It's really interesting to see how they're going to use these players like number 4, Kane Dixon, on offense and defense.
Back in that shotgun formation over here, he's going to be in motion across. Be another run play here for Eli Garland. He's going to get it down for about 6 or 7 yards.
Yeah, and another interesting piece so far is going to be the time management. I mean, last week against Shelbyville, we saw the time management kind of cost this Independence team the game, losing by 3 to Shelbyville when they missed a kick by Ben Chassie, and that's just not what we want to see. We saw the run offense of this game not being used as much as we would like to see it, with Matthew Horner throwing an interception on that last drive.
Go back to motion number 1. That's going to be Jordan Gray across the side. He's going to be thrown to the right side. It's going to be George Mayberry. Mayberry's going to break off. It's going to be a touchdown for the Eagles on the first drive of the game. It's going to be an Eagles touchdown.
And that's going to be a 40-yard play for your offense tonight. And George Mayberry is such an athletic target for this Independence offense. We see Hendrix Harvey winning player of the week. We see Hunter Mullen at the receiver position, but they overlook George Mayberry with his length and his size on the offensive side of the ball. And it is so impressive to see him make defenders look silly.
Chassie up with the kick here. A little extra point. It's going to be good. So bring the Eagles to 7-0 with 9:21 left. 9:21 left in the first quarter.
And a main piece of this game tonight is going to be the special teams. We saw Ben Chassie missing the kick last week. We saw him missing the game-winning kick against Lincoln County. It's going to be interesting to see the confidence that Coach Scott Blade has in him tonight, and it's also going to be interesting to see how Trey Karen for Coffee County gets kicks tonight, because he's made some good kicks, especially in their game against Oklahoma, making a 38-yarder.
Of course, that aforementioned Chassie kick versus Lincoln County, a 45-yard that was missed by, I believe, a foot left.
Yeah, and that wide left is going to live in his head forever. I mean, he had that kick to win the game. They gave him a second chance after missing the first one, and it still came up left, and it's going to be a confident shot, and we're going to see how he climbs back from that, especially with the missed kick last week against Shelbyville.
I believe everyone knows at this point he does have the leg to make it go from probably around 60, I would say.
Yeah, and we've seen that his leg is not a problem. You'll see this kickoff probably go into the back of the end zone. That leg is not an issue. It is the accuracy we've seen so far. That is out of the end zone from him. That is incredible. You don't see a leg like that in high school too often.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
About a 70-yard kick right there if we're counting up the yardage plus the back of the end zone. But that, he's got a leg on them. That's going to be for sure. But we're going to see what he's going to be able to do today. If the offense can't get in that end zone, we're going to see if he can hopefully get some good kicks in today.
And one of the main players to look at on Coffee County is number 11, Kason Lowry, the quarterback. He is such a versatile quarterback. He can really run that ball.
Lowry hands it off, and hands it off the ball. It's going to be a short gain, if any gain for them. That's going to be number 22. That's going to be Tez Garrett.
Yeah, and Tez Garrett's really not the running back one for this team. We've normally seen Jordan Thompson. Jordan Thompson with 43 carries for 133 yards on the season. But we've seen Tez Garrett. He has 26 carries. He is the guy behind Jordan. And he actually has more yards with 151 on the season, just not as many carries, only on 26 compared to Jordan's 43.
We're going to go back here. Once again, back off to Tez Garrett. He's going to be breaking off. He's going to be back down for believe, 6-yard gain on the play.
And an issue we've seen from this Independence defense is really that run defense in that line. One of the main problems we have seen is Killian O'Brien on that left side, number 51. They have really been pushing the run game towards him. They like to stay away from number 50, Rhett Whelan, with Wyatt Young as that outside backer. And one thing I have looked into is putting number 7, Blaze Katina, on that edge. And it looks like they're going to do that this play.
Tez Garrett Stone backfield. He's going to be lined up behind Kason Lowry. Here's another handoff to Tez Garrett. He's going to break off for another first down. It's going to be their first down, their first down of the game here.
And that's going to be 4 run plays in a row, and you're going to see that a lot tonight. Kason Lowry does not like to throw the ball. They're going to run some read options. They're going to run the triple option. It's going to be a very similar play style to what we saw from the Independence Eagles the last 3 years with Scott Stidham, moving to Scott Blade now with this Eagle Air offense.
Of course, we saw, I believe, Lincoln County, Maddox Franklin. They really handed off that ball really well in that first quarter, and then they started passing after we stopped the run. It's going to be a fake. It's going to be Lowry again.
And that's going to be another one of the types of plays we're going to see. They're going to do that fake jet pass, and they're going to do the jet pass a lot. And you're going to see a lot of pitches and handoffs from Kason Lowry. He is such a dual threat quarterback, and he's going to be a problem for this Independence Runs defense. And a main thing to look at is the nose tackles on this Independence defense are actually a lot of the offensive linemen like Siler Green, Caden Liebler. These guys are going in a nose tackle tonight.
Tess Garrett still in the game. It's going to be a passing play. He's going to be broken up right away. It's going to be an incomplete pass from Kason Lowry here.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to call a flag on the play here. It looked like pass interference. He hit him a bit before the ball was there, and that was targeted to Kane Dixon. That's the guy they're going to target a lot tonight. We've seen so far this year Kane Dixon, 14 receptions, 247 yards. He's averaging 61 receiving yards per game with 2 touchdowns on the season. He's going to be their main target tonight.
So it was pass interference on the Independence Eagles to move him down for a first down. I believe a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Yeah, and the defensive backs of Independence have been strong, but they have shown a lot of weaknesses. We saw Jordan Gray last week give up 2 touchdowns despite his interception. And Shelbyville was passing all over him in the 4th quarter once they stopped kind of pounding that run game.
Back to the handoff here. It's going to be a broken first down. He's going to keep going. He's going to chase down. He's going to be brought down around the 15-yard line. That's number 14, Jet Trussler.
And Jet Trussler's another wide receiver they like to incorporate into this run game. On the year, he has 7 carries for 107 yards, averaging almost 27 yards per game. They have so many weapons on this run game and this pass game, but you can tell they're really going to run it down the Independence Eagles' throat tonight, especially with the weak defensive line and running defense we've seen this season.
They're going to stop the clock here. But right away you can tell from this band that Independence Band, I believe, won the national championship along with the Game Day Live last year, proving this they're number 1 in the nation, and it shows. They're able to get in the players' minds on the field and kind of bring up the hype of this student section. That's awesome. I believe ranked number 1 in Wilco. Kason Lowry's going to be passed back to be Tez Garrett once again. Tez Garrett's going to break through for about 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, we've only seen 1 pass play from this offense tonight, and that was the screenplay to Kane Dixon, not even counting as an attempt for Kason Lowry. And looking at warm-ups tonight, you didn't look like Kason Lowry was super confident with his pass. I mean, he was throwing the ball behind defenders, over them. It just didn't look like he was ready to pass the ball tonight. I think we're going to see a lot of offensive runs and a lot of triple option from this offense.
It's going to be a run to the left by Caden Lowry. Lowry's going to break down the middle. He's going to be in. He's going to be in for the touchdown. It's going to be a Coffee County touchdown here.
Yeah, and Coffee County's going to come right back on Independence and get 7 of their own. That is Independence 7, Coffee County 7, as long as this PAT goes in. And we really see this offense pounding the defensive line of Independence. They just look like they are lost on defense. I mean, Kason Lowry looked stuffed behind the line, and he was still able to get 10 yards in for the end zone.
It's going to be blocked. The extra point's going to be blocked here. It's going to be picked up by the Eagles. That's what we saw at the end of the Lincoln County game. They were really able to get that, and that's what gave Chassie the chance to really get that three-pointer and get the game for them. Obviously down by 2 at the end of the game. And that's what the final score was, down by 2, but this special teams has been playing really well, whether it's on the offensive or defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and it looks like I spoke too soon calling them 7. That's going to be 7 for your Independence Eagles and 6 for the Coffee County Red Raiders. You see in the huddle here, you see Blade talking to his offense. You see him telling this team that they're going to need to come back and they're going to need to score a lot of points tonight. The Coffee County defense has been really strong so far this year, especially holding Franklin to 6 points and Shelbyville to 14. This Independence team gave up 31 points to Shelbyville last week.
Lincoln County's going to be out here to kick after that blocked extra point, which I believe if we were able to see a replay, I believe it would be coming off the left side of that, or the right side of the defensive line, left side of the offensive line, just really getting into that play and just knocking down that kick.
Yeah, the main guy to look at on the offensive line of Coffee County is number 74, Simeon Alfonso. He's going to be their left tackle, and he covers the blind side so well for Kason Lowry. He is so comfortable in that pocket, whether he's passing or running. He's never stressed back there with Simeon as his left tackle.
It's going to be number 88, Gaden Bellamy, I believe I'm saying that correct. But he's going to be the kicker for today.
Yeah, and we see number 88 doing a lot of those kickoffs, so we'll normally see number 85, Trey Karen, coming in when we go to PATs and field goals. Looks like they're going to have 2 running backs in the backfield for this play.
It's going to be Garlington and possibly Ballman again. It's going to be handoff. It's going to be shoved up down the line. It's going to be possibly a gain of 0 or a loss of a few yards here.
And that's going to be a tackle for number 44 for Coffee County, A.J. Schuster. And you'll see him on the offense and defensive side tonight, like a lot of these Coffee County players. A.J. Schuster is the starting tight end for this offense. And while he doesn't get a ton of receptions or even targets, he is a key blocking component in this offense, and he comes off the edge so well for this defense.
Warner's going to be back on shotgun formation here. Try and get him a jump off sides. They did get a little jump here. It's going to be pass to the left. It's going to be caught, and it's going to be down by, I believe, across the first down line by what I believe is to be Jake Keon, who I saw down that left side.
Yeah, and he's not someone we see getting the game too much. It looks like we see Jordan Gray and George Mayberry on our close side here.
But once again, George Mayberry stands at 6'2". He can really just get up there. If of course we've seen Matthew Horner have some misplays here, some overthrows, but he's able to get up there and bring him down if he has the chance.
We've seen the edge of this Coffee County defensive line. Jet Trussler, number 14. He is a small guy, but he is fast, and he will get to the running back in the backfield.
Horner pressures. He's going to throw across the middle. That reminds me, throw to the right side. Once again, George Mayberry, who we were literally just talking about, made that catch there. Down for the first down, I believe the 45-yard line, or my correction, the 43-yard line.
Yeah, and they love that slant play to him. He is so fast off the slant. He breaks that route, and the defender, Kane Dixon, number 4, is just instantly lost. And that's how they scored their first touchdown, from about this 43-yard line.
3 receivers to the left here. We got 1 to the right. This would be Maddox, sorry, not Maddox Franklin. Hendricks Harvey to our right. Sorry, I was wrong. Horner looks to pass. He's going to be scrambling onto his left. He's going to be across the middle. He's going to be tackled right away. Shoved up at the line for a 5-yard gain. Sorry, I was wrong. That was not Hendricks Harvey, but he was looking towards Brody Bullock on the close side over here. Just going to find the connection.
The interesting thing we've seen tonight is this offensive line for Independence. They've looked so good. Matthew Horner had almost 10 seconds in that pocket. He looked so comfortable. It was so clean, and he really didn't need to scramble there. He could have stepped up. He had some receivers open downfield, and he got almost swarmed by this defensive line.
It's going to be a run play here. He's going to be a little bit bobbled over the handoff, but he's going to be across for the first down.
And Ballman looks like a strong point of this offense. We haven't seen him get any touches this season, but we've already seen him get almost 6 carries tonight. A little limp coming off the field there. It's not something you want to see too often. Good thing we have Garlington in that backfield. Looks like the knee of Ballman is hurting him a little bit right now, or the hamstring even.
Ballman in the game now. Sorry, not Ballman. Eli Garlington. Passing play. Horner looking to his left here. He's going to swarm. He's going to be a little underthrown. But the ball is going to be incomplete. There's a flag on the right side.
Yeah, and that's going to be on Tegan Stem. It looks like that's going to be a defensive holding.
But that ball, I believe just got tipped out, or he got hit as he threw it, as it was just wobbling in the air. And, you know, he does have some, he lets go of the ball pretty well. But, of course, we see the overthrows and all the mistakes. But had that not been hit out of his hand, that could have been a touchdown there.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to see offsetting penalties here. We saw a holding call on the offense, but we're going to see a holding call on the defense as well. And it looks like they're going to keep the ball right where it is at the 26-yard line. And it looks like it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Independence Eagles. It's actually, we're going to move the chains.
Holding charge against the Eagles. Holding charge against the Raiders. Penalties all set. Replay, first down.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles on the 25-yard line with 3:05 left to go in the first quarter. Of course, your Independence Eagles up by 1 point, 7-6, this was the final score of the Franklin versus Coffee County game. Of course, that's the game we won. It's going to be another handoff, sweeping to the right here. A little stiff arm action, but he's be brought down for possibly a loss of 1. It's going to be number 3, Hunter Mullen on the carry.
And Hunter Mullen was used a lot last week. They actually used him at the Wildcat quarterback position. We saw a couple runs from him from the snap. We also saw an almost very scary injury. He hyperextended his neck last week, wasn't moving on the field, was taken off the stretcher, and yet still came back and practiced on Tuesday and is playing in this game tonight. And that's the dedication you want to see from this Independence team.
I believe Garlington back in the game still. Sorry, I was wrong. That's not Garlington. He's going to look for a little dump-off pass. He's going to get tripped up, and that's going to be a loss of 5 there on the play.
And it looks like he slipped on his own, actually, and that's not something we see from Hunter Mullen, number 3, too much. I was just giving him some praise, and it's tough to see him just take a slip back there, but it really didn't look like there was too much going for him. You saw a lot of the players, number 8, Hank Crabtree, ready to get that tackle. Number 14, Jet Trussler from the side, ready to get him down.
Eagles are working on a 3rd and long here from the 3rd to 16 from the 31-yard line.
The outside linebacker position. He is so strong and he is so fast coming downhill. The way we see him kind of cover the gap on right wheel inside is so crucial for this run defense. And how he plays tonight is going to be very telling of how this game's going to go.
Kason Lowry back to his dump-off pass to Tez Garrett. I believe that it's going to be brought down for 1 or 2 yards.
Yeah, and Tez Garrett's such a crucial part of this offense. We see 26 carries, 151 yards this season, averaging almost 40 yards per game. That is great stuff to see for this Coffee County offense. I mean, the way you see a lot of these players playing offense and defense, when you have a player like Tez Garrett who can run the ball and catch the ball and not have to go out and play defense and get fatigued, it's going to be really crucial for this team.
I believe Hunter Mullen was out of the game a little bit earlier, but he's being worked on by the trainers here, so we're hoping it's not something serious, but they're going to get one more play in before the end of the first quarter. Kason Lowry looking to his right. He's going to throw it to his right. It's going to be caught by number 4. He's going to be brought down. Number 4, that's going to be Kane Dixon, who we've seen on defensive and offensive side of the ball.
And Kane Dixon is the focal point of this offense. I mean, when they are throwing the ball, it is going to Kane Dixon. You see this year, he already has 14 receptions for 247 yards, averaging 62 a game with a long of a 79-yard play and 2 touchdowns on the season. It is really impressive to see how Kason Lowry gets the ball. They don't throw the ball much, but you will see them get the ball to Kane Dixon a lot tonight, whether that's going to be a long pass or it's going to be a short pass that he's going to break through the defense for.
That's going to be the end of the first quarter for your Independence Eagles, up by 1 versus Coffee County. After that blocked extra point, which was a great play by our special teams, and that really just proves how good we are on special teams. Ben Chassie kicking about a 70-yard kick into the back of the end zone on kickoffs regularly. And then just our ability to be able to stop but I don't want to curse or anything.
I mean, you see number 50 on your screen. He was just there a second ago. That's Rhett Whelan. You see they are very scared of running the ball to that side. They like to run it to number 51, Killian O'Brien. That's been the weak point of this offense, or of this defense, sorry. Rhett Whelan has Wyatt Young behind him. He has Kobe Barone behind him. You do not want to run the ball their way because it is going to be stopped, and they're not going to get those big chunk plays we have seen throughout this season.
Coffee County on the field here. It's going to be a motion play. It's going to be a handoff to number 12. Number 12 is going to take it up to the side of the end zone. Sorry, side of the field. And it's going to be brought down for about a 4 or 5 yard gain. That is Matthew White once again. We saw him earlier within the game get another carry there.
Yeah, they've used that jet touch pass a lot. We've seen it go to Matthew White. We've seen it go to Jet Trussler. And the main issue I've seen with this Independence defense is getting the player down. It has taken almost 3 players to get these players down almost every time. We saw this against Shelbyville, against number 31, their commit to Austin Peay State. We saw it took almost 3 to 4 guys every time to get them down. They were hitting these guys in the backfield and not getting them down for another 10, 15 yards.
Kane Dixon on the close side of our screen here. Going to handle Tez Garrett. Tez Garrett's going to be brought down for about a 1 to 2 yard gain here.
And they ran that ball to Rhett Whelan's side. That's something we're going to see so much today. Rhett Whelan on that left end position is so strong. And the way he breaks through the right tackle, number 63 for Coffee County, is going to be so impressive. You're going to see him hit the back before he even gets to the line. And it's going to take a couple guys to get him down because we've seen that so much from Independence. That's going to be 3rd and 5 with 10 minutes and 45 seconds left in your first half.
I'm going to correct myself. There's number 2, Jordan Thompson, who I believe is their starting running back, their RB1, but we haven't seen much of him in this game. I believe that was his first carry of the game. Lowry looking to his left side. It's going to be a first down for Coffee County to be hit out of bounds. Once again, that is number 14, Jet Trussler, who I believe we saw on a pass play earlier.
Yeah, and we've seen him so much tonight. You really expected them to look at number 4, Kane Dixon, number 5, Tegan Stem, but instead, we're going to see so much focal point of this offense go to number 14, Jet Trussler, number 12, Matthew White, even number 22, Tez Garrett, who's not normally their RB1. Jordan Thompson not getting a lot of carries tonight. A bit concerning to see how he is not getting nearly as many carries as he was earlier this season with 43 already.
Tez Garrett in the backfield once again. Hand up to Tez Garrett. Never mind, Kason Lowry's going to keep it. Dump off to his right side. He's going to be brought down after running through an Eagles defender. It's going to be a flag in the backfield.
And that's going to be that triple option play I was talking about, where they could have ran that ball. They could have pitched that ball. Kason Lowry could have taken it himself. And what we're going to see so far is that they're going to try to make this offense go fast against the slow defensive Independence. And we're also going to see them try to confuse this defensive line where they can go for Kason. They can go for number 14, Jet Trussler, number 4, Kane Dixon. All of the weapons that are out wide or even in the backfield on these triple option plays.
I believe that's going to be on the Eagles on that penalty.
Looks like a roughing the passer play. It looks like Kason Lowry was hit well after he threw that ball, and that's not something you want to see from this defense. That's somewhat reckless. Penalties is going to be a problem for this defense, especially with how easily Coffee County is driving down this field.
But it's going to be a 1st and 10 on the 16-yard line for the Coffee County. Motion across for Matthew White. Lowry's motioning his receivers. It's going to be overthrown into the end zone. It's going to be overthrown. That's going to be number 14, Jet Trussler. But as we've seen in warm-ups here, he was overthrowing his receivers, and that's what we just saw here. Kason Lowry just overthrew Jet Trussler.
And that's why we're going to see so much running from this offense tonight. There's been so many times where they have handed the ball off, where they have even run it with Kason Lowry. They do not want to throw the ball, and they definitely do not want to go deep. And that's going to be very helpful for this Independence defense, considering that Jordan Gray gave up 2 touchdowns last week. Henry Deming kind of limped off the field a couple times last week, and that's not what you want to see at all.
Lowry's pass intended
And they're going to call that incomplete. It looked like he could have fumbled that. He might have gotten 2 steps, so they're going to call incomplete. That's going to take it down to 3rd and 10 for this Coffee County offense. And you see number 77, number 77, Tyler Green, number 55, Caden Liebler coming in for the nose tackle position. Those are the offensive linemen, but you're going to see them coming in on defensive line a lot today.
I don't know if you're able to hear that, but there's a lot of eagle screeches going on from what I can tell.
And this band's going to be a problem for the offense. They caused a lot of problems for Shelbyville last week.
Caden Lowry back to pass, looking across the right side. It's going to be incomplete. It's going to be bobbled up by number 14. That's Jet Trussler, I believe, again, once again. But I mean, he got it on target, but he just bobbled it up and was hit as he caught it, so there was an incomplete pass there.
And it looks like Casey Lowry kind of threw the ball behind him, which is something I saw in warm-ups a lot today. We saw Casey Lowry throwing the ball behind him, throwing it short even, and it's been an issue. We see Jordan Thompson subbing in right now for Tez Garrett, and they're going to go for it on 4th and 10, even with the strong kicker. I mean, they've had a couple kicks go in this season. It's really interesting to see them go for it on 4th and 10 here against this Independence defense.
I mean, they could just be doing what we did. We went for our 4th goal, led to an incomplete pass, but it's gonna be another pass again. But it's gonna be called dead before the snap. I believe, like, possibly could be a charge timeout or a penalty.
Delay of game on the offense, I believe. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and we're going to see a 4th and 15 now. This is a big decision for the coaching staff of Coffee County. Are they going to go for it here? And it looks like they are. The offense is staying out on the field. They have the trust in Casey Lowry. They have the trust for him to throw this ball deep and because they're pretty much going for a touchdown here. I mean, they can go within the 6-yard line, but they are looking for the touchdown. And it's going to be interesting to see if they go deep or if they're going to try to throw it short and run to the first down.
5 seconds left on the play clock. He's going to be looking to his right, scrambling out to his left. He's going to be tied by the Independence defense. He's going to be motioning receivers. It's going to be overthrown to the back of the end zone. It's going to be a turnover on down for the Independence Eagles on the 21-yard line. That pass is intended for Kane Dixon, but just thrown way into the back of the end zone. No chance of that being brought down.
Yeah, and it looks like Casey was just throwing that one away. No one was open. That is what you want to see from this Independence defense. You see their defensive backs are really locking these receivers down tonight, which is something they really struggled with against Shelbyville, where, especially in that 4th quarter, they were lighting this defense up, especially number 1, Jordan Gray. Henry Deming coming off the field with a hamstring injury last week. Luckily, we see him back on tonight.
We can tell you our defensive line just chased after him, was able to get him to motion across. A little uncomfortable play here. Garlington breaks out for the first down, and more. He's going to be down for about a 20-yard gain across the 40-yard line. Down around the 45-yard line.
And that's only like the 4th carry we've seen from Eli Garlington tonight. We saw Max Bauman a lot, and it looks like he came off the field limping with a hamstring injury. We saw the athletic trainer stretching his hamstring out earlier, and they put him in, and he gets a 20-yard run. And that's what you see from Eli Garlington. 73 yards in the season, already 3 touchdowns.
He's just such a versatile player here. Horner looking to his left. That's going to be Hedrick Harvey. Harvey's going to break out for about a first down. Either a 9-yard gain or it's going to be a first down for the Eagles. Let's see where they're market here.
And that's going to be Jace Cashin trying to get him down there, number 19 on this defense. You don't really see him on the offensive side, but we're going to see him on defense a lot tonight. He is a good tackler. Couldn't get Hendricks down, and that might be an issue for this defense tonight. You see these tough players, Hendricks Harvey, Hunter Mullen. You see even Jordan Gray, number 1. They are not easy to get down.
So it will be the first down for the Independence Eagles. Hunter Mullen motioning across the right side. It's going to be a dump off to Hunter Mullen. As we just mentioned, he's going to be brought down for a 3-yard gain. But most of the passes we've gone to see him have been brought back for a loss of yardage, which is, he's a really good player, but we just haven't seen much from him tonight.
And this is a different scheme than we've seen so far this season. We've looked at Eagle Air. We've seen them using Matthew Horner and going downfield, whether he overthrows that ball or he gets to them. We've seen a lot of short passes, screen passes, passes behind the line of scrimmage tonight, and that is not typical from Coach Scott Blade. He likes to air the ball out, and he likes to go deep.
I'm wondering if Coach Scott Blade saw something that we didn't over the past few games. Horner's going to be throwing across the middle. That's going to be Hendricks Harvey across for the first down. Once again, that's going to be his second first down of the night. That's going to be a 15-yard gain, I believe.
And Hendricks Harvey is showing why he was Williamson County Player of the Week just 3 weeks ago. We see him getting open. We see him splitting the zone. It looked like they were on cover 2, and the seams are always open in cover 2. And Hendricks Harvey found that, and Matthew Horner, great job to find him.
Horner back to Garlington. Burlington breaks across on the first down. That's going to be a touchdown for the Eagles. I believe our second one by Garlington tonight. In that, here's a guy who can really push that ball downfield and really get into that end zone and just push the Eagles forward more and just get across that line and put them on points. That's going to put us 13-6, pending a extra point by Ben Chassie, which will lead us to 14-6.
That's Garlington's 4th touchdown of the season. You've seen him so dangerous in this run game, and it's so surprising to see Max Ballman used so much tonight. When they have a guy like Garlington who's breaking off 20-yard runs, he's breaking off these long runs and getting into the end zone. And a weird thing I saw on that play is number 10, William Connolly for Coffee County, really gave up on that play. He could have gotten a hand on Garlington. He gave up along with number 19, Jake Cashin, and it really wasn't enough for Coffee County. Wasn't enough for these players. You want to see more effort from both teams. But that's going to be a touchdown. Eli Garlington's 4th in the season with 7 minutes and 23 seconds left. Independence 14 and Coffee County 6 points.
Extra point good by Chassie here. It's going to put him up 14-6, which will get us to an 8-point gain on the 8-point game on the game. But Ben Chassie coming back out for the kickoff. We'll see him possibly center the back of the end zone once again, which he's done pretty much all season.
And it's pretty interesting to see how they've lost a little bit of confidence in Chassie. I mean, you see him putting these kickoffs in the back of the end zone or even in the end zone at all. And they weren't willing to give him a 45-yarder earlier, going forward on 4th and 10 and not even being close to successful. And we've seen that from both teams. We saw Coffee County go for a 4th and 15 and end up throwing the ball out of the end zone. It's interesting to see the confidence that they've lost, both teams, in their players.
Further than the back of the end zone for Chassie this time, so that's probably 70 to 72-yard kickoff here.
And it almost looks like he's trying to get his confidence back, and his coaches really aren't helping him for that. But you see him and Peyton Rudiger on the sideline, the starting punter, 3.5 star. You really hope not to see Peyton out there too much. No offense to him, but you don't want to see this Independence team punting too much. You want to see them scoring, and you don't want to see them going for 4th and 10 and not getting it.
When we do see Peyton Rudiger out there, as you mentioned, 3.5 stars, just a great punter out there, can really pin him deep. That's going to be handoff for Coffee County. It's going to be brought down for about a 5-yard gain. That's going to be Jordan Thompson, once again, who we haven't seen much today, but I believe this is 3rd carry of the night.
And Jordan Thompson has been the RB1 so far this season, but you've seen him, he's a little slow out there tonight. You see Tez Garrett moving much faster. I mean, there was a wide open field for Jordan Thompson right there, getting tripped up by the line, but if he had broke that one tackle, that was almost a touchdown right there. And that's why we're going to see Tez Garrett, number 22, out there so much tonight in the backfield and so strong with almost 30 carries on the season.
Jordan Thompson staying in the backfield. It's going to be a motion over. Back handoff to Jordan Thompson. Thompson's going to break free for a few yards and be brought down for the first down across the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and an interesting thing I see on the sideline, Ethan Langerbeans, the backup quarterback for this Independence offense, looks like he's warming up with number 36. You see him throwing the ball and getting loose. You wonder if that's a bench of Matthew Horner, if there's an injury that might be showing up here. You see Matthew Horner standing right next to him, but it is really interesting to see Ethan getting warm and getting prepared to almost go out on the field. We have not seen him this year.
Horner's got his helmet off. Possibly he's getting some water, but we could see a play or two from Langerbean. That's going to be brought down, carried by Jet Garrett.
On the carry for the Raiders, number 22, Tez Garrett.
Tez Garrett. That's going to be brought down for a short gain of about 2 or 3 yards, but that's really what we can see out of him. He's a really strong back. We haven't seen him really get those explosive plays, but I've seen 1 or 2 of them tonight. But he's really able to just push that downfield, try and get him closer to a first down, and trying to push him across that line and try and just get him further down the field for a touchdown. As we see, he's still in the game. Kason Lowry back hand off to Tez Garrett, as we just mentioned, to be pushed across for about a 5-yard gain. They're going to be down at the 45-yard line, I believe, with 1 or 2 yards to go.
Yeah. And going back to the sideline here, you still see Ethan warming up. You see Matthew Warner kind of talking to him, walking him through the game. You see Max Ballman on the bike, loosening up. It looks like he's not feeling his best, but it's really interesting to see what Ethan Langerbeek's going to do tonight. If Warner's coming out or if Ethan's just going to get a couple plus snaps tonight.
Warner still with his helmet off by the offensive line. That's going to be stopped on 3rd down here. Tez Garrett once again.
Yeah, we haven't seen Ethan Langerbeek come out at all this season. We've seen Hunter Mullen take some snap in the Wildcat. We've seen Matthew Horner, obviously the starting quarterback for this team. But it's really interesting to see Ethan warming up already, seeing Matthew Horner with his helmet off. You wonder what Ethan's going to do. This is a highly anticipated player. We have a lot of these students and fans have been really excited to see Ethan get a couple reps in this year because no one's seen it so far. And Matthew Horner, obviously, his second half play in every game this season has not been up to par.
Tez Garrett there with a carry for no gain on the play. Actually, the play before that we weren't able to talk about, he just got that first down with a gain of 4 yards. As we were mentioning before, he can really just push them past the line, give them that first down, give them another set of downs, give him just a few more chances to try and get into that end zone or get it through the uprights.
Yeah, you see Jordan Thompson back in. That almost is his 6th play in the night. Not getting that many touches.
It's going to be dump up to Jordan Thompson again. He's going to be breaking up the field. He's going to be brought down right away for possibly only a gain of 1. And these cornerbacks here, just these defensive players just really swarmed him right away and was able to get downfield, get him down.
And you saw number 24, Colby Barone on the tackle there, the middle linebacker for this team. He covers the gaps on this run game so well, and he gets to that player so fast. You see Colby Barone downfield, you don't want to see that coming. These players are not happy when you see number 24 coming downfield. And this linebacker core is so strong with Wyatt Young, Blaze Katina. It's really impressive to see what Colby Barone's doing so far this season.
John Weir being worked on the sidelines for possibly something to his arm. As the play's going to be called dead in the backfield.
To be a false start on the offense, and that's a 5-yard loss. 3rd and 15 coming up for the Coffee County Red Raiders, and you really hope to see this Independence defense locked down with their defensive backs. You see number 1, Jordan Gray closest to us. On the far side of the field, you see number 12, Henry Deming. You see number 7, Braxton Alexander. It's really interesting to see how they're going to play this. I mean, you only see 1 safety out right now, and that's not typically what you see on a 3rd and 15. You expect to see a cover 2 or more of a cover 3 type play.
Matthew White back in motion. It's going to be a passing play. He's just swarmed immediately. He's going to be passed across. It's going to be bobbled up and incomplete. Almost another interception by the Independence Eagles. We've seen them get down the field and be able to get those long passes and bring them down for an interception. As we've seen, we've seen 2, I believe, from Henry Deming on the year.
And that was Jordan Gray, and he had one last week. He did give up 2 touchdowns, but he had one last week. He had an interception that kind of gave this Independence offense momentum, and you really wonder the momentum that this team would have had with an interception like that. But we're going to see the ball from about the same field position after this punt.
Coffee County's going to punt it here. It's going to be bounced around the 20-yard line. Going to be called dead around the 18. And as for that last play that we just saw, it was a little fake to Matthew White.
And you see Ethan Langerbeek's coming. You don't see Matthew Horner going onto the field. You see number 10, Ethan Langerbeek. His first snap at quarterback this season. You really wonder what's going on with Matthew and why he's not out on the field. His helmet's on. He is not injured. It looks like this is a Coach Scott Blade decision. Something they've probably have been talking about all season long with the overthrows and mistakes we see from Horner. It's going to be so interesting to see how Ethan plays tonight.
Langerbeek with the ball. He's going to take it himself across the yard. He's been brought down for about a 5-yard gain here.
Yeah, and that's another thing that both of these teams have. They have 3 dual threat quarterbacks. You've seen Horner run the ball. You've seen him get out of the pocket. You've seen Kason Lowry for the Red Raiders getting out of that pocket and running the ball. But now you see Ethan. He's fast. He is not as tall. Matthew Horner coming in at 6'6". Ethan coming in at 6'2", and he is still moving like a 5'9", 170 running back.
Langerbeek with a snap. Dump up to Hendricks Harvey. Harvey's going to break across the left. He's going to smack him right in the face. It's be, I believe, a first down for the Independence Eagles as number 10, William Connolly for the Red Raiders gets that tackle as he just gets smashed in the face by Hendricks Harvey.
And you see number 45, Xander Warwick, again on a tackle there on defense. Xander Warwick, AJ Schuster, these are both guys playing outside linebacker and also playing that blocking and receiving tight end position. You see number 0, Xander Gomez, closest to you on George Mayberry. That is almost a 4-inch difference in height.
Hunter Mullen motioning across the right side. Langer Beans looking across for Hendrick Harvey once again. He's going to be brought down for another first down and 1 yard gain after that first down. Really just adding up to his yards after catch. That's what he's been pretty good at this year. As we saw, he brought it down for a few more yards after the few first downs he's had. George Mayberry wants another one of those good players so he can really get down the field after catching. As we saw his 40-yard touchdown earlier in the game. And versus Lincoln County, I believe he had a 60-yard play that went for almost a touchdown. Lincoln is going to be handing off here. Once again, it's going to be breaking across the left side. It's going to be getting for another first down and more. And more. That's going to be Deming. Sorry. Not Deming, Hunter Mullen. I'm so sorry about that. But Hunter Mullen for a large play. Once again, another yards after the catch guy. We haven't seen much of him that game with most of his passes being caught behind the line of scrimmage and being brought down, but he just went.
Yeah, and Hunter Mullen's been such a strong point of this offense. He's normally lined up in the wide receiver position, but you saw last week in the Wildcat, you see him lining up at running back tonight. It's really interesting to see what Scott Blade does with the injuries to Torrey King and Josh Neves and how they're going to run this offensive and just the running offense in general.
Hand off to Garlington once again. Can he break through for his third touchdown of the night? He can. He's going to get it. It's been third Eli Garlington touchdown of the night.
Yeah, you see Ethan Langerbees come into the quarterback, and that's a 4-play drive and a touchdown for your Eagles. You wonder if that is just because he's in or just because of the running offense that they have here. But you really seem to wonder how Scott Blade is going to continue this game when you see Ethan putting on a show at quarterback and you see Matt so far this year not putting up the production that they expected from him.
Chastity with the extra point. It's going to be good here. It's going to bring him up by 2 scores here.
Yeah, Independence 21, Coffee County 6 with 43 seconds to go in the first half. And it's so crucial that Independence gets this 2-score lead going into halftime, because coming out of halftime this season is where they've struggled the most. You've seen a lot of fourth quarter blow-ups, a lot of third quarter blow-ups, especially from Matthew Horner, where you really wonder if they're going to keep Ethan in the game or if they're going to go back to Matt and try to test the waters and see if he's going to hit those overthrows, if he's going to get his game back into where he knows it can be.
Your Eagles up by 15 points in the second quarter with 43 seconds left on the clock. To be Chastity back out with the kickoff here, possibly sending back to the 25-yard line and just hit another bomb, try and show Coach Blade that he can really hit those good kicks and hopefully gain the trust back that he lost in the past few games, missing those game-winning kicks or those game-tying kicks. But it looks like he's gotten confidence back, and he's hitting further from what we saw versus Lincoln County. Lincoln County, we saw middle of the end zone, maybe back at the end zone, but this time he's out of the end zone, even further at this point into the green.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see how this Independence defense is going to work with 43 seconds left. They know Coffee County is going to be looking for a shot, but they also know that the pass offense of Coffee County is not where they want it to be. They want to see a lot of deep passes that they're not getting from Case and Lowry. And you wonder if Independence is going to prepare for the run or if they're going to send it back and run a cover 4 or even a cover 3 and push the whole defense back and cover the long shot.
Jassy with the kickoff. And it's going to be another bomb. This time into the middle of the end zone. It's going to be caught by Maddox. Sorry, not Maddox. Matthew White. I'm so sorry about that. I get my M's mixed up a little bit. Especially with Maddox Franklin, as we saw versus Lincoln County. He was really able to get that second half offensive going by just throwing that ball. Kind of how we saw how this offensive is going. They were really run heavy going into that first half, but going to that second half, they switched up the passing game whenever they couldn't keep the run game going with maybe some defensive tweaks. But that game was pretty much lost by Matthew Horner's overthrows, as we've seen. So that's why I believe Langerbean's in the game. But Caden Lowry looking over to his left side. He's going to be throwing it across the line. It's going to be 14.
Lowry's
It's going to be
pass complete
first and
to
more
14,
here.
For Jet Trussler right there, number 14, they've used him so much tonight. Normally you see Kane Dixon on this offense getting the most attention, but right now we're going to see Jet Trussler, we're going to see Matthew White, we're going to see a lot of these guys on jet passes, on rollout left passes, rollout right passes. It's going to be so interesting to see how this Independence defense adjusts coming into the second half. I mean, we really hope to see more adjustments out of this offense. Scott Blade, Coach Nolan, we really hope they're going to come out of the second half and remember what happened against Lincoln County. Remember what happened against Shelbyville, where these teams ran all over them until the third quarter, until the fourth quarter, and that's when they started throwing the ball and really rocking this defense.
Safeguarding, grow their wealth with tailor-made strategies.
That's going to be a charge timeout for the Red Raiders here. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, I believe. That's either the Independence defense coming back on the field.
Also brought to you by North Point Roofing Systems.
You'll see the band getting ready for their halftime show here. They've vacated their stands and they're setting up in the end zone.
You see number 19, Brody Bullock, as the deep safety for Independence. You don't see him out there too often, but he's going to be the deep safety, making sure that Coffee County can't get this deep shot that you're going to see tonight.
Caden Lowry back across to number 5. Be brought down before the first down line. That's going to be number 5. That's going to be Tegan Stem.
Yeah, and that's his first reception of the night. You have it. I think that's his first target as well. So that's a good catch and a good route, but you really expected to see Tegan Stem used a lot more tonight. It's going to be another timeout for Coffee County. They're really trying to take all of these 45 seconds they were given and get down this field and try to cut it back to a one-score game with 27 seconds left in the first half. You can look in the huddle. You see number 14 for this Independence offense. That's going to be Bryson Campbell. You don't see him out there too much as well, but they're putting a lot of these players out specifically as deep safeties to make sure that none of these deep shots are going to work for Coffee County and Kason Lowry specifically.
That's what I was about to say. We haven't really seen him go for more than a first down pass on this drive besides, of course, that one play. But most of the time they've gone for some short gains that have gone for either a first down or more.
Yeah, and on the left side of your screen, you see Jordan Gray. That's a guy we've looked at a lot on this defense. He had an interception last week. He gave up 2 touchdowns after that interception against a Shelbyville team that really didn't like to throw the ball.
Done by this will be Jordan Thompson. He's going to be brought down for a first down across the 50-yard line. He's going to be brought out of bounds. He's going to stop the clock with 20.3 seconds left in the second quarter. Your Independence Eagles up by 15 going into the half. Pending if they don't score here, we will be up by 15 going into the half.
Yeah, and I'm really confused by this Independence defense. They look so lost that they're losing players, and it looks like they're running zone almost every play, and they're just losing a guy. They lost Jordan Thompson there. They lost Tegan Stem on the last play. You saw Tegan run a curl route and get caught. You're going to see an injury right now.
Let's move to another Eagles player. As we're mentioning, Eagles injuries, it's going to be another Eagles player is going to be on the far side here.
Yeah, we can't see who is injured yet, but you saw so many injuries last week. You saw Torrey King going out for the season. You saw even Hunter Mullen getting that neck injury. It's just really tough to see all the injuries. We saw Lennon Greathouse kind of getting knocked out last week, along with Henry Deming limping off the field. And he looks like he's going to get up on his own. He jumped up kind of quick there. He's going to be helped off the field, but it's always great to see these guys get up. It's so scary to see them get hurt, especially if they've been hurt before, even if they're just kind of limping off the field, which we've seen a lot from this team. We saw Max Ballman limping off the field after the 4th play of the game.
Landon Greathouse, who they just mentioned over the announcement, that he's going to be walking on the field with a little bit of help here from the trainers. But he looks to be walking on his own, just having possibly his arm held up. As we see, maybe a shoulder injury.
And we saw him tear his MCL in middle school, actually. 8th grade year, he tore his MCL. It actually looks like he's holding his quad. And we saw him last week get knocked out, go unconscious. And it's just really scary to see players who have already gotten hurt getting even more hurt.
Caden Lowry down behind the line of scrimmage. Possibly another charge timeout for the Coffee County, as they're going to call it here, with 8.5 left, but it's going to be sacked down for about a 5-yard loss. Sorry, a 3-yard loss on the play.
And that's the impact of these offensive linemen going in on defense. You see, that was number 55, Caden Liebler. It's really interesting to see how they're going to use these offensive tackles to be playing nose tackle tonight and kind of swarm this interior defense, because we've seen the interior defense get torn apart for Independence, and they're bringing the biggest guys they have out tonight. That was number 78, Wade Matheny, on the tackle there.
Coffee County now out of charge. Sorry, they used their large timeout. They're now out of timeouts for the half. So if they want to keep this drive going with 8.5, they possibly have 1 or 2 plays left. If they want to keep this going, they need to get out of bounds on this next few plays and try and get into that end zone. We could possibly see them just kneel the ball out here, take into half, review what they can in the locker room, what they have, what plays they have, what they can go off of, what they can change, come out maybe looking like a new team. We can also talk about Indy and how they can improve on their run defense, because they've been running nearly all over in the first quarter. It has improved over the second quarter, but it still just hasn't been perfect.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to run cover 4 on this play. You see Brody Bullock as a deep safety. You see Hunter Mullen as a deep safety. You even see Jordan Gray, a guy they don't love to put one-on-one. You see zone defense, and you see they're preparing for the deep shot here.
Kaden Lowry breaking out across, be throwing it deep again. It's going to be incomplete, possibly brought down actually. But it does not matter. That's going to be the end of the first for the first half. It will be ruled incomplete.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end.
And that's covered by number 19, Brody Bullock, a guy you don't see super often. And that's going to be a 15-point lead for your Independence Eagles going into halftime. 21 Indy, 6 Coffee County. We will see you guys back after halftime. Welcome back, Indy Nation. I am Jacob Hammers.
I'm Jackson Finkel.
And we are back with the second half broadcast of your Independence football live stream. And it's going to be so interesting to see how the offense and defense for Independence is going to make the adjustments against the Coffee County Red Raiders offense, where they've been running the ball all over us, rollout passing, triple option. The defense cannot stop it. A mere 6 points for the Red Raiders, but getting into the red zone and not taking a field goal after going to 4th and 15, which we've seen from both teams. Independence 4th and 15, not kicking the ball. Coffee County 4th and 15, not kicking the ball. It is so interesting to see how special teams is going to affect the play tonight, because it looks like the coaches don't want to use them.
I believe those 2 4th and 15s came on back-to-back drives consecutive for the Eagles, where they went for the touchdown on the left side. It got caught, just bobbled out right away as he got hit. And then the 4th and 15 was brought down, just wasn't able to convert it across the line for the Red Raiders. But your Independence Eagles are up by 15, and they are kicking off here to start the half.
It's going to be interesting to see how the defense adjusts specifically. I mean, you've seen the offensive linemen going in for nose tackle. You've seen Siler Green. You've seen Wade Matheny. You've seen Caden Liebler. It's going to be interesting to see if they keep that consistent and if they can play against the fast-paced offense of Coffee County, going to the outside runs and kind of not letting Independence break through inside.
Chassie's kick in the back of the end zone here. Kind of a little bit forward from what we've seen today, but still in the back of the end zone, still showing what kind of leg he has, and still showing what Coach Blake could be using in these coming quarters, depending on how far of a field goal it is.
Yeah, and you see Hunter Mullen back out on defense. You saw him kind of limping off the field earlier. You saw his neck injury last week, and you still see him out there. He loves to play, and he will always be out if he can be.
Tez Garrett in the backfield starting off for the Red Raiders. It's going to be a handoff back to Tez Garrett, and it's going to be brought down for about a 4 to 5 yard gain.
And this is an issue we've seen all season from this. Yards of contact after he is hit, and you see it taking about 4 guys to get them down. It is really interesting to see how this defense would be doing if they could get these guys down when they hit them first try. The yards after contact for teams against Independence is the highest in Williamson County.
The clock was stopped there for possibly it could have been a flag that was picked up.
You see number 4, Kane Dixon. They're going to look at him a lot in the second half.
That's going to be Matthew White across the line. It's going to be brought down for, I believe, a 2-yard gain. It's going to be back behind the first down line.
And that's a good tackle for Jordan Gray. We saw him struggle last week. After making his interception on the second drive of the game, he gave up 2 touchdowns, one being 35 yards and one being 40. We saw him struggle at the cornerback position, and it's great to see him get off that block fast. The block made by Kane Dixon. You see him shoving off that block and getting to Matthew White in the backfield.
Jason Lowry still in the game. We're going to be able to see it's going to be a fake to Tez Garrett. It's going to be thrown across to the left side. He's brought down for the first down. Number 14, Jed Trustler, who we've seen catch a lot of balls today. He's been what I believe to be the main target of this Red Raider offense, which he's been pretty consistent with catching the ball and getting able to get that first down and get a few more yards afterwards.
Yeah, we haven't even seen him only used in the receiving game. We've seen him taking snaps from the backfield. We've seen him making jet sweeps. We've seen his legs used so much tonight, and you wonder if fatigue is going to be a big part of this game, especially for Coffee County, where most of their players are playing both sides of the ball.
Tez Garrett still in the backfield for the Red Raiders. It's being handed off back to Tez Garrett. He's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage here for about a 1-yard gain, possibly a gain of 0 too.
And that's a good sign for the Independence defense. You do see them going towards the side of Killian O'Brien, number 51, for the defense, where he has struggled all season. That's been a weak spot for this defense. And you see them getting a 1-yard loss going towards Killian and against the side of Rhett Whelan and Wyatt Young on that left edge.
It's going to be a passing play from Kason Lowry. He's going to be throwing across. It's going to be overthrown. Almost intercepted by the Independence Eagles. That's going to be Jordan Gray. Almost had another interception this game. I believe he almost came down with one, possibly around the 20-yard line in the first half towards the end. But just really being able to just stop Kason Lowry has been pretty consistent, as he's also been missing his overthrows. Kind of what we see out of Matthew Horner on the offensive side of the ball, which is possibly the reason why he was taken out coming toward the latest stages of the third quarter.
Yeah, and that was targeted to Kane Dixon, number 4, the guy who has 20 receptions this year. And it's going to be interesting to see if they keep Ethan in the game or if they're going to go back to Matthew.
We slung across to Matthew White. He's going to be brought down for the first down. And that one was just slung across. A great ball by Kason Lowry, sorry, I almost said Lacey, but Kason Lowry just slinging it across the field and getting that first down for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, and it looks like Independence is in cover 2 again there, and you see the receivers of Coffee County, especially Matthew White, finding great gaps in this defense, especially about 5 to 10 yards out. You've really seen them take advantage of this zone defense tonight, and Matthew White has been a focal point of this receiving game.
Lowry back to pass. He's going to be escaping the pocket up to the front of the field. He's going to be brought down just before the first down line for about a gain of 7 on the play.
And that's where Coffee County gets so dangerous, because when that pocket collapses on Kason, he's able to run so fast. He's able to do the triple option when they schedule it for him. But when he needs to make a play, he will do it, whether that's not typically with his arm, but you'll see it with his legs over and over again, even when Jordan Thompson and Tez Garrett aren't making plays out of the backfield.
Tez Garrett still in the backfield, possibly something going on with Jordan Thompson, as we haven't seen him come out this second half. Lowry's going to be moving across to the left, throwing deep. It's being brought down, incompleted through the hands of Kane Dixon. Almost brought down, I think it hit the ground and came out, which will bring him to a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, and that's a great pass from Kason Lowry. We haven't seen him throw it deep much, but that was exactly where he wanted to put that ball. And it's really tough to see Kane Dixon not coming down with that. I mean, on the season, 14 receptions for 247 yards, averaging 62 a game, and you're going to see him drop a ball straight through his hands. He split Jordan Gray and Hunter Mullen so well, and it's really tough to see him drop that ball if you're on the Coffee County sideline.
Lowry back to pass. Throwing across the middle, it's gonna be overthrown, almost intercepted again, this time by Jake Keon. Almost brought that down, just his finger off the ball, just tapped it.
Yeah, Jake Cowan doesn't get a lot of reps on this defense. They've been very critical of his game. They'll put him in, and if he makes any mistake, they're gonna pull him out so fast. And you've seen him do so much, and that wasn't even a mistake, and they're still gonna pull him. It actually looks like he's a bit confused. He's gonna go back in the game. And it looks like right now they have 12 players on the field. I don't know what that offensive or what the defensive coach is doing here, but it's interesting again to see another 4th down attempt for Coffee County and even Independence. You've seen so many 4th down attempts and not a single conversion yet.
4th and short for the Red Raiders here. Throwing across, it's gonna be a 1st down and more for the Red Raiders. That's gonna be number 14, Jet Trussler, who we mentioned earlier, he's really able to just get the ball. He's been their top target on especially the dump off passes. Just being able to catch that ball, push him down the field and get that 1st down, give him another set of plays to try and get into that end zone.
And that's a struggle we've seen a lot from the Independence defense. They've done so many screen passes on the offense of Coffee County, and Independence has not been able to get around those blocks. We saw Jordan Gray do it earlier this drive, but we haven't really seen much success so far.
Lowry back scrambling outside the pocket. It's gonna be brought down for about a 5 or 6 yard gain here.
And that's the read option I've been talking about. He has the option to go to the running back of Tez Garrett or Jordan Thompson, whoever they have in at that moment. But he has the option to go through the left side and take that ball himself. And a lot of the times they'll give him an option to pitch that ball back and let a running back do the work on his same side. And it's so interesting to see this defensive line of Independence get so caught off guard and not even be ready at all for this read option play.
2nd and 5 for the Red Raiders. Lowry back to pass to me. Jordan Thompson, who we just mentioned, who's back in the game. He was in the backfield, slung out to the left. He was brought down for about a 2 yard gain. So it's approximately 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 2nd for the Red Raiders with 7:09 left in the clock.
Number 2, Jordan Thompson has been a focal point of this offense. He has the most carries for the Red Raiders this season, but we've seen a lot of Tez Garrett tonight. They like the big frame of Tez Garrett, 6 foot, almost 210 pounds. You really see he's a stocky guy and he's able to get through these tackles, and they know that Independence cannot get a lot of these guys down, and that's why we've seen so much Tez Garrett tonight and not much of the more skinnier frame you see out of Jordan Thompson. But they're going to throw it out of the backfield, and they're going to throw it to the backfield, and that's a lot of their game plan.
Jordan Thompson in the backfield again. He's with the carry. He's going to be rushing forward. He's going to be brought down behind the 1st down line. Mentioning Tez Garrett, he kind of reminds me of A.J. Dillon, who's a really good player who's, I believe he's on the Eagles now, but he's able to just push through, get a few yards, really get into the end zone if he's able to push through.
He's a guy looks like, to me, is Ray Davis on the Bills. He's not used too much, but he's a big, stocky guy. He's about 5'10", 220, and you really see him. They only use him on 3rd down, and that's a lot we've seen out of Tez Garrett. You don't see him on 1st and 2nd down as much because they know he can get these short yards. And we're going to see another 4th down attempt for the Red Raiders.
This crowd is electric. You can hear it through the broadcast. Lowry driving back to pass. He's pressured. Throws it across the middle. It's going to be incomplete for the Red Raiders. That's going to bring up, I believe, turnover on downs. We're seeing Horner back to pass here.
Yeah, we see Horner going back in the game after Ethan put up a great drive last time, and I'm really shocked to see this. I would have liked to see Ethan get a little more reps, a little more time to show what he can do because they know he can do it well. And it's interesting to see Matthew back in the game. We know he has a temper. We don't know what the sideline looks like right now, but we do know that Ethan looks like a great quarterback, and I hope he comes in for another point in this game.
I think the reason why they brought him in last time is to keep Horner healthy as hand off to Eli Garlington, who's going to be slung down by his jersey for a gain of 1 to what it looks like. But I wonder if they just brought Langerbein in to just kind of ride out the last bits of the 2nd quarter, keep Horner healthy and keep away from him a possible injury because he's a tall guy. They like to tackle low on taller guys, keep an injury away from his knees, and if something were to happen, maybe keep it up higher. But
yeah, you saw Eli Garlington on your screen a second ago. He's a guy who's been so crucial for Independence. He has 4 touchdowns on the season, and you'll see him get so many touches tonight. And it looks like they're not going to go to him here. It's going to be a short pass.
It's going to be about 8 yards, I believe. He's going to be brought down possibly with a 3rd and maybe 2 here.
And it looks like that's Jordan Gray again. You see him out of the slot on offense all the time. They like to have him split the zone. You've seen so much zone from both these teams tonight. You don't really see a lot of man coverage because there's a lot of burning that people have done of the defensive backs.
Going to push Garlington here. Garlington's going to go through for first down and more. Posse for more. Looks to be another 8-yard gain there. Basically almost another first down.
And that's Garlington again. We've seen him so much tonight. He already has a touchdown. That's 4 touchdowns on the season through 3 games after getting a canceled game at Columbia Central 2 weeks ago. And it's so interesting to see how they use Garlington. They prepared for the QB sneak there, and they ran it to Garlington, and it took him almost 10 guys to get him down.
Horner looking to his left, looking down the middle of the field. He's going to throw, just overthrown. Nowhere in the area where that ball landed. Just overthrown. I believe that's Hendricks Harvey. I could be wrong here.
And that's a problem you've seen from him all season, especially in the second half. You've seen so many times he's overthrowing these receivers. And this is why I was so excited to see Ethan go in. That's not something we've seen from Ethan at practice. You really haven't seen Ethan overthrowing these balls. You've seen mostly him hitting them on the nail, and he doesn't throw it as hard as Matthew. He doesn't have the pace Matthew does, but he has a tight spiral, and he gets that ball where it needs to be.
Hunter Mullen across. Hand off to Garlington once again, who's going to be breaking free for about 8-yard gain, possibly 9, or even another first down for the Independence Eagles. He's been this really consistent guy this game who's been able to just push him right down the field, just get him straight through. And it's going to be a quick motion here, no huddle. Try and catch him off guard. Possibly another quarterback sneak by Matthew Horner. It will be. And he's going to be across for the first down.
Yeah, and Garlington cannot be tackled tonight. I mean, that is taking him 6 guys to get him down. You see him getting contacted at the line of scrimmage, and he's just pushing. They grab in his jersey, they're pulling him back, and he is pushing through. And that's not what we expect to see from Garlington. That's what we expected from Torrey King and Josh Neves, the bigger, heavier set guys. Garlington is a skinnier guy, and he's still pushing through this defense.
Colby Barone in for running back as they take Garlington out of the game. Horner back to pass. He's going to look towards his left, looking down the middle. He's going to be slinging it deep for Hendrick Harvey. He's going to get it. It's going to be a touchdown. The 4th on the night for your Independence Eagles. It's going to be 27-6 for the Independence Eagles, starting out the third quarter with 3:36 left on the clock, pending another extra point by Ben Chassie here. What a play by Horner here.
Yeah, that was a great pass by Horner. He made it a little hard on Hendricks, overthrew the ball a little bit. Hendricks kind of had to dive and roll to make sure that ball didn't touch the ground. But that's a great pass, and that's what you want to see from Horner. Coming out of the second half, he has not been strong, and you really want to see him getting those deep balls on target. And you see Hendricks doing it again after being player of the week, after going for almost 70 yards a game. It is so nice to see him back on the score sheet with another touchdown tonight.
Extra point good by Chassie here. My opinion, I think Garlington or Harvey Garlington should be the player of the week on his 3 touchdown night with a lot of yards, I should say, a lot of yards. I don't know the exact number, but it's up there.
Yeah, it's been so great to see this offense move. I mean, the defense is so scared of this run offense from Independence. It's really interesting to see how they're clamping for Garlington and letting these plays over top. And it was interesting to see Colby Barone going in at the running back position. That's his first snap of the season at running back. You saw Max Bauman in earlier in the game, number 17. You saw him come off limp with a hamstring injury, but really shocking to see the middle linebacker of Colby Barone going in the game. And, I mean, just there to block, really, for Hendricks on that touchdown.
This Scott Blade offense has been pretty electric tonight with its Eagle Air attack. And then, of course, the run game, as we've mentioned quite a few times this broadcast. But they can really just do it all here. They're able to piece together, just leave the defense speechless and questioning what they're going to do next. As here's the kickoff by Chassie. And once again, just towards the back of the end zone. Possibly it's going to be returned this time. Called back. Called dead. Possibly a touchback here.
Interesting to see Matthew White starting to take that ball out. Looks like he called fair catch, but he started to take that one out, and you've seen Matthew White on the offensive line a lot tonight. I know Jackson, you specifically, have been calling his name a lot. He's getting those receptions, and they're targeting him almost 8 targets tonight. And it's really interesting to see how they've used him on a lot of the rollout passes and a lot of the plays outside of the hash.
He's been used a lot, especially on the motions. I know one of the plays on their 4th and 15, on one of the plays on their fourth that got called back. It possibly was the same play that they used on their 4th and 15 that was incomplete, but you really saw him get into the motion. That's something where he's heavy at. And it's going to be another run here by the Red Raiders, and then being brought down for about a 2-yard gain here. I believe it's going to be Jordan Thompson, who's in the backfield, number 2.
Yeah, and they're going again to the interior line, and it's not going to work for them. This Independence team is putting their big offensive line. Siler Green committed to Western Kentucky University. You see him just shutting down the interior run game. And it's interesting to see he got OTL, outside the line, Middle Tennessee play of the week last week on his pancake at Shelbyville, and it's interesting to see how they're putting these big guys towards the interior of this defensive line.
Blitzkatina dropping back after that. It's going to be a quick pass out by Lowry towards his left side. It's going to be brought down for a 2-yard gain.
And you see Jake Cowan coming in again. We've seen him go in and out so much tonight. They don't like to use him too much. He makes a lot of mistakes from Scott Blade's point of view, but they've used him a lot tonight. You've really seen him kind of excel his game and how he plays the linebacker position. He has a great frame, and Coach Blade just wants more physicality out of number 0, Jake Cowan.
Leave us on number 59 coming in for the defense line, Max Cameron. Funny thing, he's actually my neighbor, so I actually have another one of my neighbors on here. But Jordan Thompson in the backfield still. Lowry back to pass, looking for deep. It's going to be overthrown and possibly intercepted by the defense, but I believe it's going to be ruled out of bounds.
Yeah, and that's going to be so close to another interception. That's going to go to 4th and 9. This defense has come out of second half firing on all cylinders. This Red Raider offense cannot do anything on this defense. I mean, you see Kaysen Lowry rolling out to his left again. Jordan Thompson on the short. He couldn't go to him. It's 3rd and 9. He went for the long ball. It got tipped, and it ended up almost in the hands of Jordan Gray for his almost 3rd of the night. He's just getting so close.
Red Raiders punting to be a high fielded punt. Be brought down just by the 50-yard line. The Eagles in good position. I believe Horner's coming back out on the field. Really wishing that we can see Langerbeek coming out possibly later in the 3rd quarter, or maybe in the 4th quarter, based on how the score's looking at currently. 28-6 is your current score. We're up by, this is going to be 22 points.
Yeah, and I think if they score a touchdown here, Ethan will come in the rest of the game. You don't want to risk your starter getting injured, especially when you're up almost 29 points. And it's really interesting to see how they're using Matthew tonight. They haven't really let him go deep. Besides that Hendricks Harvey touchdown, you have only seen maybe 2-3 deep shots from him. And that's where he's really struggled, where he's overthrowing that ball, where he's missing it wide right on the out of bounds or even to the defender sometimes. And it's great to see them kind of using him in the short pass game, but you really wonder what Ethan could do out on that offense.
They're going to be moved back a few yards for possibly an unknown flag that we did not see.
Yeah, they're going to move him back about 15 yards, and you really wonder what that flag could be, considering it's still 1st and 10. Interesting to see why that's going to be a 15-yard pushback, because I mean, field position has been so important for Independence. We saw that in the Lincoln County game, where Lincoln County only scored when starting their drive from past the 50-yard line.
I think it was probably roughing the punter on that play. It's a handoff here. It's going to be brought through the line of scrimmage for about a 5-6 yard gain near the 1st down line.
And the rushing attack for Independence has kind of become an oddity at this point in the season. You've seen where it was Torrey, it was Neves, and it was Garlington. And now with 2 season-ending injuries, it's interesting to see who they've been utilizing the most in this run game. And it looks like Garlington and Ballman are going to take the cake there.
It's going to be a false start for the Red Raider defense. Going to move them up 5 yards and for a 1st down on the Independence Eagles. On that last carry, that was number 3, Hunter Mullen with the carry, who we've seen really turn around this past few quarters from his 1st quarter where he had multiple behind the line of scrimmage losses for, I believe, 1 for 5, 1 for 1 or 2, I believe. But we've seen him turn around these past few quarters and just really be able to push that ball upfield. And we've also, number 24, that's Xander Marchman, who I believe is on our left side, who plays running back and linebacker. We haven't seen much of him Colby Barone. Let me correct myself there. Horner to his right. He's going to be passing. He's going to cross the line of scrimmage for the first down. He's going to be flagged at the end of the play.
I wonder if that's a face mask call. I mean, you saw him grab him by the face mask and rip him over his shoulder. That'd be a 15-yard penalty. That's a big penalty if that's on the defense here.
That was George Mayberry on the catch. As we mentioned before, he's really he's 6'2". He's this tall receiver. He can really grab things within his reach, especially if they're overthrown or just out of his reach. He's really able to grab it in and pull it in.
And you see on your screen, number 0, Xander Gomez for Coffee County. He's a big defensive back in this defense, and they haven't used him a lot this season. You've seen a lot more coming from Kane Dixon, coming from Keegan Stem, but Xander Gomez has done pretty well against most of his players tonight, except for that big touchdown pass to Hendricks Harvey he gave up last drive.
Cody Newland with the face mask penalty. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. That was only a 5-yard this time. Horner back to pass, looking for his deep shot to his right side, just out of bounds and through the hands of his receiver. I believe that might be Hendricks Harvey on the right side, or Hunter Mullen, I believe.
It's interesting to see that they're not going to call anything there. You saw the defender's arm going across Hunter's arm. You see him holding the arms back, and it's interesting to see a no call there. And it's also very interesting to see how Hunter Mullen's been being used this game. You've seen Hunter, he's playing receiver, and he's also playing running back a lot tonight. And that was actually George Mayberry on the target there and couldn't come down with it. Unfortunately, another missed right we've seen from Horner, which is a big problem so far this season.
He's been really good at throwing within the numbers, not so much outside the numbers, as he's going to be a fake throw to his left side. It's going to be carried by Garlington through the middle. It's going to be nearly a first down. I believe a gain of 6 to 8 yards on that play.
And on your screen, you see number 77, Siler Green, committed to Eastern Kentucky University. He's a strong guy. He's a strong guy on this offensive line, and he's also been a strong guy on the defensive line, because that is a new thing Coach Blade has implemented this week, where we've seen Siler doing so much on the offensive and defensive side, and he will win many more awards this season, I'm sure of it.
Garlington still in the game, but it's going to be movement on the right side.
Flag on the play.
Looks like that's going to be holding on the offense. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty for Independence, taken back to about a 3rd and 8.
False start on the Eagles.
And penalties really hasn't been a huge issue for Independence this year. You've seen a lot of penalties for the other teams that they've been playing, but you haven't seen too many holding calls on offense. You've seen a couple pass interference calls on defense. You've seen a couple holding calls on defense, but you haven't seen too many false starts and holding calls on the offense so far.
That was a 5-yard penalty, false start on Noah Whitaker, number 85, who we haven't seen much within this game. Horner moving out to his right side. He's going to be crossed the line of scrimmage and more for the first down. It's going to be brought down for, I believe, a first down and I believe a 1 yard after.
And an issue we've seen from Matthew Horner, especially last week in the game against Shelbyville, he had 2 flags in the game where he was throwing the ball past the line of scrimmage. So very impressive there to be aware of where that line of scrimmage is and to make sure he's not trying to pass that ball, because he had a guy open on that right side. And it was good for him to pull that ball in and go for the first down and not get another flag, which we've had an issue with so far this year.
So that's going to be the end of your third quarter for the Independence Eagles. 28-6, up by 22 coming to this fourth quarter. We've really seen this offense and defense change so much out of this halftime. We've been able to stop the run better, in my opinion. But kind of versus Lincoln County, we've let up a little bit on the air attack. Just let him get down the field in the air. But so far, we've been able to stop him pretty well and just get down the field and get within range. We see what the Hornets be able to do with a new set of downs.
And you hope this Eagles defense is going to keep their adjustments. We saw so far this year, Coach Blade and the coaching staff has not made too many adjustments coming out of the second half. They've become sluggish most of the time out of the halftime. And this game, they look like they are firing on all cylinders. And it looks like these players are pumped up to keep their foot on the gas. I think that's something that they've had a problem with this year. If they put their foot on the gas, they seem to take it off in the third and fourth quarters. And it looks like they plan to keep the knee on their neck tonight. Eli Garlington in the backfield again. A lot of snaps to him tonight after Max Bauman's hamstring injury in the first quarter.
See what's Horn be able to do here. Another pass play, looking to his left, scanning the field, throwing down the middle, deep ball. It's been caught for another touchdown. Possibly George Mayberry on that play. Flag on the play, coming out of the end zone, pause for the celebration. Sorry, that was Hunter Mullen.
Offense has been so impressive tonight. You really have seen Matthew struggle so much, and it looks like the more they keep it within the numbers, the better he is. And I think putting Ethan in was a good way to scare him into playing better. You saw that ball was perfectly where it needed to be. The first one to Hendricks, maybe a little overthrown, maybe making it a little harder on Hendricks, but that was as easy as possible for Hunter Mullen, and he has been such a big point tonight, especially after that hyperextension of the neck last week, where it kind of looked like he would be out for the season, and it's great to see him back already.
Was a flag on the play after the touchdown. Possibly on the kickoff it will be applied. Not for sure what it was for, but extra point by Chassis is good. Like always, it's gonna be 5 touchdowns on the night. 2 going to receivers, 3 to Eli Garlington, 1 to Hendricks Harvey, 1 to Hunter Mullen, and 3 to Garlington.
Followed by a Belmont converted extra point for the Eagles. Your score, Independence 35.
Yeah, we saw the first touchdown of the game tonight going to George Mayberry on that slant. Almost a 50-yard play. It was really great to see Matthew Horner being used in the short pass game. But these last 2 touchdowns, we've seen a 25-yarder. We've seen almost a 40-yard touchdown to Hendricks and a 25-yarder to Hunter Mullen. And the way they're using him tonight has been so impressive. We've seen so many struggles this season with his overthrows and his where he drifts the ball right outside of the numbers, and it's been really great to see him taking these deep shots and feeling confident. It looks like they really put Ethan Langerbeans in as a scare tactic to get him to wake up and realize that his spot is not guaranteed, and that's a problem we see throughout all of football. But you do see Ethan warming up again on the sideline, and you wonder if that's because of the score is currently 35 Indy and 6 to the Coffee County Red Raiders. And it does look like that penalty was applied to the kickoff. We saw 2 excessive celebrations on Shelbyville last week that were applied to the kickoff. And it looks like Ben Chassis is going to be kicking it from the 25-yard line. And we wonder if it's still going to get close to that end zone.
I think if he puts some power into it, he can get into the back of the end zone here. But yeah, we can see Horner helmet off, kind of just moseying around, just walking about. It's going to be returned by Matthew White.
Yeah, Matthew White's a guy you've mentioned a lot tonight. We've really seen him touching the ball almost 5 times a drive. You've seen him, and he's actually down. This is never something you want to see. You don't know what it is, but he looks like he's in pain. He's not getting up.
Injured player on the field is number 12, White.
We talked about it a lot, as Jacob just mentioned, but he's been one of their top targets tonight, just pulling a lot of these catches and just getting through for these just helping them with these fake plays, just really selling their run offense, just trying to get the ball out. He's been one of their top catchers tonight with, I believe, 8 or 9 targets on the night.
Yeah, and you don't want to see an injury like this ever to anyone, but especially a star player like Matthew White, who's been the #1 receiver tonight for the Coffee County Red Raiders. You've seen every rollout pass from Kason Lowry go straight to number 12, Matthew White. You've seen Jet Trussler. You've seen Kane Dixon. You've even seen Tegan Stem at this point. But Matthew White has been so important for this offense, and it's never good to see anyone down like this, and you really hope it is not a serious injury. And a
Matthew
big
White's
shout
still
out.
being worked out.
Oh, he's going to get up. Look at him. It's great to see him walking off the field. Doesn't look like he's getting too much help. Doesn't look like he's limping. You really hope that he'll be back in the game later this drive. And a huge shout out to our athletic training staff. You've seen them. They've had to do so much this last couple weeks. You've seen so many injuries to Torrey. You've seen Hunter. You have seen even Landon Greathouse and Henry Deming last week. It's been impressive how they've been able to handle all of that and do great for
from their own 30-yard line.
Lowry tipped off the pass, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended for Tez Garrett, but just tipped off the line It's going to fall short, almost being caught on the bottle by Tegan Stem, who we just mentioned, but just almost brought down, but just bobbled a little bit and incomplete.
Yeah, and you've really seen this passing offense not work out for them tonight. You've seen a lot of issues when they've gone, and they're doing a lot of behind the line of scrimmage passes, especially to Tegan Stem, especially to Jet Trussler.
Lowry looking to his left side, just incomplete. That was number 23 on the coverage. That's me, Brock Daniel, who's gonna break up the pass, and number 4, Kane Dixon, who was the intended target.
And you see a lot of the players that don't normally get time in the game. You see number 23, you see number 0, Jay Cowan, you see a lot of these backups coming in for Indy. They know that they are up by 29 right now, and they're gonna keep their foot on the gas. They're gonna put these backups in, but these backups are playing for a spot on the starting offense. And who knows what they can do tonight. But it's really tough to see Kason Lowry struggling to get even one completion in the second half.
See me running through the line of scrimmage, just brought down and hit face full on for a first down, though. He's gonna be dragged across the line, just shoved up by the defense, just pushed across.
Yeah, number 44, AJ Schuster, kind of slow to get up on that offense. He's a big guy for Coffee County. He plays tight end, but he also goes into the linebacker position. He's a big player on the defensive line for them, especially him and number 8, Hank Crabtree, who we see all the time coming from the edge of the defensive line, and you don't want to see him getting injured.
Tez Garrett still in the backfield, as we've seen seen most of this game. As he's gonna be pressured right away, just throw it deep and right out of bounds. Some equipment knocked down after the play, but just way out to the left, out of Kane Dixon's reach.
Yeah, and it looks like Jordan Gray actually got his hands on him a little early there. I think there's going to be a no call, considering that ball was too far out of bounds. It was uncatchable. But it looks like Jordan Gray is hitting a lot of guys a little early tonight. He's pushing, he's shoving, and he's getting his arms and holding some arms back. He's going to have to be careful going forward when they play teams like Franklin, like Ravenwood, like Page, because they are entering Williamson County games after this week, and this is where it gets really hard for this Eagles team.
Pass out to his left, and just wrapped up right away. Short gain, if any, by Brock Daniels, and Tegan Stem on the catch there.
Yeah, and Tegan Stem is a guy we mentioned kind of briefly tonight. He hasn't gotten a lot of touches. We saw Matthew White coming out of the game, and we've seen 2 touches to Tegan Stem since, which is going to be a focal point of this offense. They find these 2 players to be similar in almost every aspect of the game. Their stature is very similar. They are tall guys, they are not skinny, and they can make something happen.
Kason Lowry motioning out to his right. Pop's gonna take it across, he's gonna throw it down, just incomplete. Intended target once again, Tegan Stem, who we just mentioned, just right incomplete, just through the hands of, I believe, another target, but I believe intended for Tegan Stem.
And this is such a crucial game for Indy after coming off a loss to Shelbyville, who lost to Coffee County by 1 point. And then Coffee County beating Franklin by 1 point, Independence's opponent next week. This is a huge breakout game for your Eagles, and it is really exciting to see how everything is clicking tonight. This defense, this run game has been so electric, and we see Matthew Warner making less mistakes.
Punted by the Red Raiders, it's gonna be fielded just right down about the 24-yard line, I believe. That's going to be Jordan Gray, who we just mentioned on the return, just taking a little kneel there, just getting it down, as he had 2 Coffee County players in his face, I believe.
Yeah, and it looks like Ethan Langerbeans is back in the game, and I thought that was going to happen after they went up by 29. They have confidence. They don't want to hurt Matthew. Matthew's a big guy. It is easy to get injured at 6'6", and you see him with his helmet off, and he looks very pleased with what he's done today. You see Hendricks Harvey targeting him. You see George Mayberry. The chemistry between this wide receiver or this quarterback and his wide receivers is incredible, and it's exciting to see what Ethan's going to do tonight.
Langerbeans taking the ball. Motion us right, just swung down right away for about a gain of 2 is what it looks like.
Yeah, number 44, AJ Schuster was the first guy to get hands on him. And you saw him getting up slow earlier, and you saw him miss that tackle instantly. Didn't really have a chance until the second guy got there. 14, Jet Trussler, being a big part of this defense tonight. He is not a big guy, but you have seen him make so many crucial tackles. And he might not be the first guy to get there, but he's the last one to get him down.
Garlington still in the backfield. Haven't taken him out of the game yet with what a game changer he can be. Just flip the script on any sort of slump that they're in. Langermeans immediately pressured, dump out to Garlington. As we just mentioned, he's going to be going for a first down or more. Across the 45 and just brought right down. And possibly a Henry Deming, I believe, got that safety in the first game versus Rockville. He also had an interception in that game, I believe. But they're on the 3-yard line with 1st and 10 to go. And of course, their stacked defense still in. Tez Garrett's going to get the ball, and he's going to be brought down for a few yards here, probably about 5 yards, I believe.
Sorry for that cut in audio a second ago. We were just kind of discussing how this Independence offense is going to move going forward after the mistake from Ethan on that 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. And you see Tez Garrett again going up the middle and getting 8 yards. The power back is working for Shelbyville, or for Coffee County, apologies, but they're not getting to the red zone. They are moving down the field, and they are coming up short at around half field.
Toss in the back for Matthew White, who we saw go down earlier. He's going to run around the outside. It's going to be a first down, I believe, just across the line.
And again, you've mentioned his name so many times tonight. They don't just like to use him receiver. He is their wide receiver 1, but they love the toss to him. They love the jet pass because he is so fast going laterally, and he can move his weight upfield so quickly. And you wonder what Independence's defense is going to do about it. You see one deep safety right now, and you wonder if they're just going to keep running man coverage to see how these backup defensive backs could hold up against Kason Lowry and the slow passing offense.
Tez Garrett with the ball again, just getting past the defender, being brought down for another 5-yard gain. But they've been really able to move the chains here after their recovered fumble on the 3-yard line. After that fumble snap from the offense, which is one of the rare mistakes we've seen today. But we've seen a few from Warner, we've seen a few just from the defense, but we haven't seen much from that offensive line.
Yeah, you don't want to see Independence run the score. You don't really want to see them running score that they don't need to. But you do want to see these players trying, and it's good to see them get to that 3-yard line. It's obviously unfortunate to see them come up short with the fumble, not getting into the end zone. You just see Ethan not being physical to jump on that ball faster than the defensive player of A.J. Schuster, who has been so important on the offense and defense for Coffee County tonight.
Tez Garrett with the carry once again. He's going to be short of the first down line. It's going to be 3rd and 2nd for the Red Raiders with 4:29 left to go in the 4th quarter. Your Independence Eagles still up by 29 points.
Yeah, and you see the band playing a big part tonight. They did this against Shelbyville. They caused a missed snap, unfortunately called back for a timeout, but this band is so loud for Independence, and it has clearly been a problem for the quarterbacks. And you see a flag on the play. It looks like that's going to be a holding call on the offense, and you see an Independence player down, and it does not look like he is getting up any fast.
Kason Lowry with a QB keeper with a flag in the back, possible for a holding call. Bryson Campbell
Injury timeout.
is what I just heard being called as the down player. That's going to be our, I believe, 4th injury timeout of the night. That's something you just don't want to see ever in any level of game, any sort of game. Just an injury to a player that he's rolling around the field, just not looking well, but we hope and pray that he will be okay and that he'll recover quickly from this.
Yeah, and Independence has had so many injuries this year, and you wonder what the cause for that is. You don't want to see injuries like this. You don't see this as much at the high level. There has been an increase of injuries, but it's really unfortunate to see the athletic trainer going on the field so many times.
So we have to bring out the medical bag, which I couldn't think it would be a good sign for now. And the SRO is coming out as well.
Yeah, this is not what we want to see. We saw the stretcher come out twice last week at Shelbyville. We saw it come onto the field for Hunter Mullen. We saw it come later after Torrey King was taken to the bench. But it's just never something you want to see, and it's demoralizing for the team. Seeing a friend and a player and a teammate go down is never easy for this offense.
Well, this could be a demoralizer, as you said, but it could also be motivation for them to play for their injured players. Bryson Campbell, I believe, is the player who's down, but he's been used a little bit on this offense as well, especially on this defense as well. But it just sucks to see a player like this go down.
And it's unfortunate. He's mostly in because of this 29-point lead. You don't see him playing all too often, but it is really tough when you see a big lead like this and you still see injuries coming to players. And that's the main reason they take these starters out. That's the main reason we're not seeing Matthew Horner and we're not seeing Hendricks Harvey, because they don't want to risk injuries like this.
I might correct myself here. I believe it's 19 Brody Bullock. I believe I could be wrong. It could be Bryson Campbell, could be Brody Bullock. Not entirely for sure. But they're still working on him out there. Just doesn't look too good for how long they're staying out there with him.
And you hope that the medical tent won't have to be used too much when a football game starts. And the fact we've seen it used almost 4 times now. We've seen Matthew White go down. We've seen Landon Greathouse go down. And we've seen so many players just not coming out of the game the way they want to. And it's really sad to see. And we saw a flag on that play, and it looks like they're going to move the ball up. But there was a clear holding call on that play. So we'll see if the chains get moved.
He's going to be standing up now. To be helped off the field. Possibly, it could possibly be his arm, as they have it all wrapped up.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be an arm injury. You wonder if that's going to be an elbow or if that's going to be a shoulder. They don't want to move that arm much, and you wonder if that's a shoulder injury. You see a lot of dislocated shoulders in football. That's one of the most common injuries, and you really hope that's not the case and it's not even close to that serious. But you saw a lot of people getting out there to the huddle, and you really hope that it is not serious. We'll all be praying for this young man.
That, I believe, is actually Max Cameron, who lives down the street from me. That's one of my great friends. So I'm gonna text him later. I'm gonna go visit him, possibly go check in on him, see how he's doing. He's a great player. Haven't seen much of him, but he's played quite a bit coming into the second half. I saw him going to the field earlier, but when he's out there, he can help stop those plays. But man, it always sucks to see a player get injured, especially if you know him, you live close to him.
Yeah, and you still see a lot of players on this defense that are not typical starters. You see number 14, Bryson Campbell, out there again. You see number 23, Brock Daniel, out there again. Just guys we don't typically see. And it looks like they are going to make that holding call. And it's going to be a 3rd down and 13 for Coffee County. And this Independence defense needs to park the bus. They need to stay deep, and it looks like they're going to run a coverage 0 man coverage. And you wonder if they're going to be able to run this ball, if they're going to try to pass it with Casey and Lowry, which we haven't seen too much tonight.
Tez Garrett in the backfield once again. We've seen a lot from him, especially at this 4th quarter. It's being handed back off to Matthew White, who's being crossed for the 1st down.
Yeah, we saw Matthew White go down earlier. We saw an injury on the kick return, and he was being helped off the field. It's great to see him back playing, and you see him doing this again on the end around. You've seen a lot of reverse direction running plays from this offense, and they don't have the confidence in Casey and Lowry to throw the ball, even on a long 3rd down, 3rd and 13 there, and they're still not passing that ball. You don't see that too much.
And number 51.
Cameron's still being talked to on the sideline by our wonderful trade one, Miss Brandy. Actually, she's got our gym named after her, I believe, just this past year. Been here for, what, I believe 20 years, 24, how long our Independence has been opening. Matthew White back in motion. Laundry is going to escape the pocket, cross the right, possibly going to be brought down, maybe even lost the football and knocked out of bounds, but it's going to be possibly a loss of yards.
Oh, it looks like we see another injury on Coffee County's team. And that looks like number 74, Simeon Alfonsi. And that's really unfortunate. That's their left tackle. And he's so good on that blind side. He's been so good at protecting Case and Lowry tonight. And it's so unfortunate to see the athletic trainers going out so many times tonight. And we really will be praying for all of these young men. You do not want to see this many injuries. And you see him kicking his feet in agony. And you really hope that it's not serious. It looks like it's going to be another upper body injury.
It's been the same game. Just how many injuries we've had today, how many players we've had go down and get back up. As we mentioned, Matthew White go down. He came back up with possibly maybe just the wind knocked out of him or a quick little, sorry, I'm forgetting whatever it's called. But we've seen Hunter Mullen go down and then come back up with a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Possibly he got worked on. And we've seen him make a big impact. We've seen a few other players go down, but it's been both sides of the ball. Just, it sucks to see an injury, especially if
hope it's not serious again. We've seen so many small injuries tonight, but we've seen big ones too. I mean, you saw the last guy coming out. You see him, Simeon Alfonsi, getting up and walking to the sideline. You really hope that he'll be back in this game tonight, and if not, back next week. And you really hope that's not a serious injury, and we will all be praying for this young man.
Brings up second down.
I believe that was a play-in until we had another injury, which in such a close game, or such a close time frame, I should say, such a close time frame, they've had two injuries, which never good to see. As the Red Raider offense goes back on the field, headed once again by Kason Laundrie. Laundrie's going to throw it, be caught by Kane Dixon. Kane Dixon's going to be across for the first down, possibly stopped just before the line, but I think they're going to give it to him.
And an issue we've seen tonight from the Independence defensive line is they are closing the outside, but they're allowing Kason Lowry to run straight up the middle, and the pocket opens up so much for him. And you've seen him use his legs, so a lot of these linebackers are crashing down on his legs, and he's able to get that wide open pass to Kane Dixon. We've seen it to Tegan Stem. We've even seen it to Matthew White. And we've seen so many problems with this defensive line, and you really hope they will solve it by the time we hit Williamson County play.
Laundrie back to pass. He's going to be sling across back to Matthew White, who's going to be brought down quickly for about a 1-yard gain.
And Matthew White is slow to get up again. You don't like to see that. He was slow to get up on the kickoff, and you hope that they'll take him out if there's a risk of injury. I mean, they are down 29 points to Independence, and there's no reason to keep him in this game if there's a chance of injury.
Laundrie still has the, this is kind of what we saw versus Lincoln County. Lowry out to his right. It's being intercepted by the Independence Eagles. It's being brought down just across their first down marker. And
that was a terrible pass. I mean, you wonder who Kason was going to. There was a running back coming on the short side, but he really only threw that ball 2 yards. Not a good pass at all. And you wonder if that's why they haven't been throwing it tonight. Straight to the defensive lineman. And you don't even see a defensive lineman interception too often. And wow, just a terrible pass.
Jack Bronner, number 82, I believe they just mentioned.
Another player who has not been starting this season. You see him making plays.
The linebacker who was out, I believe, in coverage. But just a first down or two, and they should be able to just kneel the rest of this game out and just really just secure this win.
You wonder if they'll just kneel it out now. Coffee County shouldn't be putting up a fight on kneeling it out. It's a 29-point game, and that was a great interception, a terrible pass, but a great momentum play for Independence, and you've just seen it, everything going right for Independence tonight. You've seen Hendricks Harvey, you've seen Matthew Horner learning and recovering after making a bad play, and the way he's gotten the ball in between the numbers tonight is such an improvement from what we've seen in past games where you called it out a lot, where he missed a lot of deep balls right against Lincoln County.
Number 34, Diego Vergen, who's actually on my lacrosse team with it. I'm on the lacrosse team with him. He's a great player, and just being used as a running back here, just getting that few carries, about 2 yards, I believe, but just helping out, run down that clock, and just really just letting that game out.
And on the close side, you see number 14, Bryson Campbell, playing defensive back. You haven't seen him a lot this year. He is currently guarding Carlos Martinez, a guy who Coffee County really hasn't used a lot. But you've seen Brock Daniels be a star on this offense, even though it has been the backups playing since 35-6 on that touchdown to Hunter Mullen.
Eli Carey with the play, just a few yards, just trying to run down the clock here. but he actually used to be our quarterback, I believe, 2 years ago before Horner took the job. But
Yeah,
we've seen him switch
Eli-
to a wide receiver and corner.
Eli was he was not the starting quarterback ever. He was the QB4 as a sophomore, and they knew he wasn't going to be the guy, so they moved him to defensive back, and this is his first snap of the season. And that's going to be a win for your Independence Eagles. Independence 35, Coffee County 6, and that's a 29-point win for the Independence Eagles. And what a bounce-back game from their loss to Shelbyville last week.
What a game it's been. It's been fun to watch. It's been fun to talk about as well. Especially like you just mentioned, the 29-point difference. We didn't really need to see Ben Chastity come out. Besides, we would have liked to see him maybe on that 4th and 15 where he could have kicked that 45-yarder, gone up by 3 more points, maybe made it a 32-yard play. But it's the different plays that matter. It's the overthrows. It's the perfect passes by Horner. He's been pretty good this game, I should say. He's been able to hit his receivers, especially after the Langer Beans came in and kind of scared him a bit, kind of shook him up and got him in shape.
Yeah, and I was talking to a lot of the players earlier. They went up to the punter, Peyton Rudiger, and they said, hey, man, no offense to you, but I don't want you out tonight. I want to be scoring on every drive, and that's exactly what they did, except for that 4th and 15 they didn't get. They kept Peyton off the field, and they love Peyton in that locker room, but they'll do anything to keep him off that field and make sure they're not punting the ball away. And it's been such a pleasure commentating with you, Jack, and this camera crew has been so incredible, and we appreciate Independence and the Independence TV and Film News team. And we just thank every one of you that's helped us tonight.
Leave a special shout out to Mr. Balzer, who's been organizing this entire thing for the past, for our 2 games that we did this. He helped organize it, he helped make it happen, he helped get everything prepped, set up. So we'd like to give a special thanks for him, especially to kind of sponsor or like kind of push this game out. But we'd just like to give thanks to him for everything he's done for the school and done for the program. And
that is all for us tonight. Your Independence Eagles 35-6, and that is a win for Independence. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and we appreciate all of you watching.